fighting?
Please tell me those boots have AC.
Oh, buddy.
So,
Buddy.
yeah, whatever.
Among the video games you voiced, how many do you have a chance to get to play? And how far are you in Final Fantasy 13?
How far am I in Final Fantasy 13?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I was like, I'm running across a bridge over and over again, fighting like the same people over and over again. Will I ever get past this? Cut to like a month later. Oh my god, I'm still running across this. Oh no, I've jumped down to another bridge, but I'm running across the bridge. I got past that thing, like sort of the setup part. I've seen chocobos in the afro, which, by the way, when I was recording it, I was like, is that it? They're like, yes, you can't say anything about it. This is afro chocobo. Afrobo? What do we call that? That's me.
I tried playing Neptunia with my friend KG because he had it for some reason, and we were playing it, and
For some reason.
yeah, he was just hanging out in his apartment, like, okay, we'll play Neptunia. And there was a lot of like X clicking. I guess it was like a 30-minute cutscene, and it was just like, you know, characters staring at you, talking, saying their lines, and like, oh. And after that, I was just like, it's okay.
I've tried playing two games I was in, Black Hawk Down and Robotech Battlecry.
Woo!
And on both of them, I got to level 4. I'm seriously game challenged. So.
I have a follow-up question. If you're playing a game with yourself in it, and it's a cutscene that you would otherwise be bored with an X past, if it's you in the cutscene, do you like to sit back and enjoy it, or do you
Like I said, we're little walking egos. What do you think? Next question, yes. Yes.
I got a couple ways to ask that one. Between voicing things like Japanese anime and video games, do any of you have a preference, or if so, why or why not? So I've heard some voice actors say they do.
I kind of like anime because it's so rare that we get to do it. But I love both, but I think it's really a special treat when we get to do dubbing for anime.
I feel the same way about video games. So I think it's a treat when I get to do that.
You're seeing the great LA, or you're seeing the great California-Texas divide. Because there seems to be, I don't know, there seems to be more video game production in California than Texas, and then some more anime in Texas than California.
Yeah.
So I think we would say we would each have the opposite answers. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but certainly it's the thing that you, trainer kind of idea. You know, if we get to do anime all the time, but we don't get to do video games as much, we're more curious then about doing that, and maybe vice versa. But they definitely have their good points to both. With an animated property, you have more time to get into the character and act and feel the story arc and all that. And with video games, it's very quick and succinct, and it's in and out, a little more so than anime. But that's also really cool.
Because you're done really fast.
Because the recording process sometimes is so, you know, it takes a while to record it, of course. So they each have their pluses and minuses. And that's how I save Christmas. I have no idea.
Green. You. Yes, military person. I can't tell. Thank you.
What are, like, in your opinion, the best and the worst voice acting you ever heard in a video game?
I saw a clip just because people were talking about how bad it was, and it just turns out that this person, he wanted to get the owner of the company that was dubbing the game, or it was like the same company that was like releasing it. He wanted to have his family members do the dub, so he just got his family to do it. And I don't know the name of the game. I don't think I would want to say it, but it was definitely interesting.
Yeah. Wow. It'd be really cool if you were a family of Barrymores, but anyway.
In general.
I hope that's not Chris's blood. You know, Biohazard was pretty challenged. I mean, it's not the worst. House of the Dead was worse. Or, you know, someone set us up the bomb. Well, that was really text, but yeah. So Resident Evil 1, Biohazard 1 was, you know, known for being a little awkward. Perhaps you, the master of unlocking, can use this. But I was working, this is going to be a little embarrassing. I worked on a really crap horror film. And one of the guys on set was like, so, I hear you do some cartoons. I was like, yeah, I do some, this and that. And he goes, that's cool. I lived in Japan for a while. I did some voice acting. A little game called Biohazard. And I was like, all at once I was like, I wanted to bow because it's the game that defined the genre survival horror, but it's also like the laughably funny poor voice acting game. And oh no, people are recording this, man. I don't want to, whatever. He was Wesker, and I was like, that's amazing. I mean, Wesker is like, he's a great bad guy. And his identical twin brother, who should probably sound the same, also worked on the game. I was like, but I don't know why you can do the same thing, but that's cool. but that's a whole thing in Japan, actually. It's like being an expat, American, and having no accent when you speak, or having an American accent when you speak English, getting hired to do English voiceover in Japan. It's a whole thing. And apparently the agents that represent these people who are sometimes wives of diplomats, not just actors who are like, I'm going to make it big in Hollywood, no. Broadway, no. Japan. That's what I'm going to do. Japan.
Well, if they don't make it in Japan, they go to Singapore. Actually, the worst voice acting I ever heard was when I came into, I don't even remember the name of the game, but I was brought in, I was with Magnitude 8, I was brought in over there to do a part. They said, well, there's English previews, we're going to be listening to English, and I thought it was a dub. And so I get in there and I start hearing, it's really beautifully, technically recorded well, but the acting was like, talking like this with really strange pauses, And it turned out it was a game that they tried to record in English in Singapore and brought it over, and it was just so horrifyingly bad they hired a bunch of us to come in and quickly redo it.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. I don't know if you know about this, but like Joe and I direct a lot. That I'm sure you do. But we're having to compete with companies in Singapore and China doing English dialogue. I mean, for anime, for video games. I should talk with my mouth full.
I love that you are. I was just saying, I love that he's chatting it up while he's eating.
Oh, do you guys like seafood?
I think it's fun. It's like breakfast.
It is so rock and roll.
We don't want another day of theater going on.
Yeah. All right.
Something I just general wonder, sometimes I hear a lot of, when I go to these panels, they're all really cool. And I hear people, say sometimes we get it, first time out, sometimes it's 20 times out. Sometimes I hear about 18-hour marathon recording sessions. And I'm just curious, are you folks hourly salary or by the job?
Depends on the job. Depends on the job. So it depends on what you're doing on the job. As directors, I tend to be more flat rate by the job. Some actors, if it's union, it's by the hour. If it's not, if it's union, it's per session. It depends on the gig.
It's true. Yeah, marathons can be hard. The first game I ever did was actually Pink Panther's Passport to Peril.
A lot of alliteration there.
I just made that up. That's the game that I worked on as a sound lead, and I had I'd scratched all the voices for all these kids running around in the Pink Panther. It helps them do stuff. And the Pink Panther, first of all, shouldn't speak, duh. Whatever, it should be Henry Mancini's music. But MGM was redoing it, and Matt Frewer, who plays Mac